Right then. Good evening, all. You'll be happy to know I am at 100% on the headset and 100% on the battery pack, so plenty. Let me just get my little earwig going. There we go. Right then, guys and gals, those of you that are here, everyone hear me okay? So drop me an audio check and then I'll begin. Hey, hello Dave, thank you very much. Right, let's begin. Hey, if it isn't the Archer Big T. Hello, Sean. Right. Good, good. Right then, well, let's begin. Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here, and today we're going to be continuing my main bow run. So we're at 3 million. I think we got most of the way through Purgatory 5. So let's have a look. Right. Well, we're at a shop. That's a good start. That means that we might have got through something. So, we're at full life. We've got our Grace of God. And I've pretty much got my quiver set up how it's going to stay for the entirety of the main game. Unless we do something with that, but I haven't decided yet. And because I said that I'm going to talk through my sort of strategies with this, if memory serves, I think we've done the pit. I've got a quiver. Now, I am a big pusher of using Hand of God at all times to improve your scoring, which I'm going to show you in a minute, or improve, or rather make sure you get your headshots in. So we've got that quiver. We've also got a Blood of the Lamb, so we can even afford. Well, you can never afford to be complacent, but we can afford to be a little bit more complacent. Let me just close that. And we're at cycle 5, so we don't need to worry too much about complacency. So I would have said, unless I was rushing to get to the end, and I can't remember, and at the moment my streams do seem to have this theme of me rushing towards the end, so I better go back and just check that I didn't forget the pit. Don't think I did. The score doesn't look like I did. But let's have a quick check anyway. If the pit is anywhere here, it will be. It can be in there. It's not. And this gives me a good excuse to stretch the old arms out because I haven't played In Death Unchained most of this week. Oh, and also it allows me to check my resources as well. So you see, I've got another quiver there. We'll probably grab the one in the shop just to speed things along if we need it. Don't even think there can be a portal. There used to be able to be one there, but I don't think you can get that anymore. So I'd say either we haven't seen the pit or I've done it. And I don't know. I'm quite honest with how good my memory is, which is that it is shocking. Ooh, I think we've done this bit as well. Haven't I been busy? Well, that's not a great score at the moment, but wasn't planning on have, if that's on the leaderboard, I can't remember his full name, but it's he's definitely on the Facebook group, but I won't say anything more than that because yeah, I don't know how he feels about having his name said online, so I will keep quiet on that front. TTTV is so TTTV something about nothing. That is the Archer Big T, I think you will find. Not mistaken, which I rarely am, unless it comes to orphans. Down here for him. We know him so well. Better deal with you before you become a problem. So, you'll see what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to construct these long-range headshots that I always bang on about. Now, one of the things I can also do here is, I'm not going to bother... Oh, you're a cheeky one, look at you. I'm not going to actually bother using my Hand of Gods here, just to try and keep things moving along. Hello, Dan. How are we doing? So, this is a good place to get some range. Hello, Rena. So yeah, as I say, this up here is a good place to get some range. You could even go up there as well. One of the things I have identified is the, this was in the last video, because I thought this game might actually work on distance as opposed to measuring height as well. It's usually a lot of luck, Sean. See, missed that one and that one. Now, you remember that whole don't get into long-range sniper, kids? This is what not to do. Hey, there we go. Beanie's in. Here's a guy that says that he gets the gets those sort of headshots first time every time. Although he's like me, we get them first time, 60% of the time, every time. So yeah, there is another way that we can do this that makes it even easier, because I find personally these angled headshots even harder. He says as he nails it. But the problem is every one that I miss, yeah, but look at these ones. Look, I'm closer. Oh, that one's all right. It's not very entertaining though, is it? But yeah, as I say, like at this cycle, we're good. We can afford to duel these guys. Oh, that should have been 2 headshots. We can afford to duel these guys. But normally, that's rubbish. Normally, we do not want to be getting into sniper duels. The other thing to remember on this as well, and it's something that I will test, is make sure you have full draw or nearest damn it. If I remember, and also note that you can draw further than full draw as well. Full draw will score you 4 points on those marksmanship headshots. And I believe if that's 0 and that's full, I believe you can come to about here, fire, and still get the full headshot points. There was a time that me and Beanie were disgusted by, we never did it, where you could do, I'll demonstrate, you could do this, and every single one of those scored full, and it was disgusting. But me and Beanie, we stuck to our guns, we didn't do it. For the right, however, that was a pioneer of the technique, if I remember rightly. Okay, each to their own. where's that? I heard you. Despite not being able to hear out my left. There you are. One of the things I was considering doing is doing some farming on Anakin, because this is a scoring run, you know, so normally I would do it, and it might be a good example, potentially, of what not to do. That we shall see. When I'm clearing here, I like to make sure that these sides, because you do get spawners this side and the other side as well, and I like to make sure that they are completely clear before I start doing the rooms, because it only takes for you to forget about these ones on the outside, and they can get a shot off on you and sneak up. Also, I ain't going down the stairs. That's what they want me to think. Go down the stairs, they say. Not today. So I would always approach this part from here. That little causeway, that leads straight into the portal. So if you're ever wanting to get straight to Anakin, because it's risky and you need... And there are times when you might want to do that. There are times where you might want to not go through this level because you're on Death's Door and you need that life that's through there. But we're here for points. So... Now, here's a nice little technique. I know, right, Beanie? So here's a good place to score some points. Sat up on here, what do we know can't happen? We know that the abominations can't come towards us. However, the knights can throw axes. They will move away to get the angle. We want to finish them up. Make sure there's no others. Cool. Oh yeah, hello Deborah. Yes, that is one hell of a shortcut. So what we're going to do here... Yeah, you got it, Sean. You spend all that time rushing and losing all your points just to lose the life on Anakin. So what we're going to do is we're going to herd everything here. This is another one of these situations where you create these long-range headshots. Now, we know that if we go up here, they can't get us, and they'll stay there, and they won't come any closer. If we extend that distance a little bit, we'll deal with these guys first. And then what we want to do, using copious amounts of slow time, we want to start hitting these headshots. This is something... Oh, here we go. This is something similar to what me and Beanie have been talking about. Long-range headshot executioner. Just trying to stay within execution timings. Keeping on getting those headshots. And it is all... Oh, I was a bit lucky I wasn't aiming for that one. Tee-hee. I mean, yeah, you know, easy doors. There we go. You don't think of stuff like this because that's not your job. That's Beanie's job. And then when he slacks off, I pick up said slack. So yeah. Sorry, Beanie. I'll stop in a minute. I know you're in the chat. Oh dear. My biggest and truest rival. Right then. You can. So, no worries, Sean. I wouldn't have been getting much more, but if you imagine you do that every single time, and it's worth maybe an extra 100 or 200, and you do that on every single shot through your cycle play, however it is that you play, this is how you can have more points. So the timings for, as far as headshot execution scores, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're getting a headshot or a body shot. A headshot will give you executioner points as far as getting the kills is concerned. Hang on, I'll just wait for the chat and then I'll... Yeah, 10 push-ups. I'll put them in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, what you were asking there, Dave, as far as Executioner is concerned, what I was doing there is it was a combination of Executioner and headshotting. You want to be doing headshots because you then score in the marksman category as well as the Executioner. So all I was doing there is trying to make my headshots no gap between, or trying to rattle off the headshots fast. What that then does is the first kill starts off a 10-second timer. Every kill after that adds an additional 1 second to that 10 seconds, and the more kills you get, the more score you get. The Executioner score is independent from the headshot score. Headshots are a set amount, each one. So basically, if somebody took their time and did, like, I don't know, 15 seconds between each headshot, they probably would have scored, I don't know, about 1,000 points less than what I scored. It's not a massive amount, but as I've said, every little helps. Right. And I might get hit here, Beanie, because I'm farming, mate. Farmer's hoe. So I'm going to stick to this left side, do what I normally do. Because I'm farming, ideally, what I want to be doing is going for headshots. Bit risky, because I could start the knights off. And I don't want to do that. Now, you'll see that because I dropped that Hand of God, the knights have only now just spawned. It's one of the things I'm sure you've been dropping Hands of God on Anakin, Sean. But that is another factor as well, as if you drop the Hand of God on him up there, I do believe it delays his timing on the knights. So there is a technique out there at the moment, which is kill the knights, don't kill any of the abominations, and you can basically stop them spawning again. You'll see what I'm doing here is we're farming. Why has he not propped his, there he goes. Try and get some shots in. So we're not under too much threat yet. We shouldn't have to, other than the Hand of Gods. And again, this is the reason why I say using the Hand of Gods here. Yes. Okay, that I did not know. See, these are the little things. So at the moment we are farming. What I would recommend, which is something I didn't really cover in my videos, is I would whittle him and get his archers dealt with first, and basically skin Anakin to within an inch of his life first. And the reason being is because if he is within an inch of his life and we get into trouble, we can end it. Because we wouldn't want any red faces whilst trying to kill the first boss of the game now, would we? So I'm going to take a dodge over here, I think. Where's that archer gone? Oh, we'll find it later. Let's go over here. And I'm going to try and... there he is. Nice long-range headshot. Thank you very much. I'll take your points. I'll take your points. I'll take your points and your life. Right, let's pop one of those there. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've always hit him. So that's news to me. Now, because I'm not using freeze arrows, it is important, because I'm not using Winter's Bite, it is important for me to keep hitting things to stagger. Where's he gone? Is he still in there? Yes, he is. Oh, fair enough. It's fresh off the presses. You heard it from Beanie here first. Ooh, that got the knights. Hello. Okay, so what we will do here, this is where we might start using... We'll use some resources, obviously, to keep it slow. If we can, we don't want to be using... Winter Spike. This is a good place. He does loads. You don't want to see him. He actually does loads on Facebook. Hello, bargain bin. You haven't missed too much. I'm just doing a bit of farming whilst everyone gets in. Hello, LG. Yeah, just in case you watch this now, I'm going to get absolutely slain now that our global supreme is in the chat. Here comes the damage. Here comes the mistakes. So this is something that I've been playing with my whole little silver lining technique thing. Oh, hello. Let's pop that one there. Bye-bye. So yeah, if this was a high cycle, I would be a bit worried about setting off those knights. But at this stage, yeah, well, it wasn't that easy, was it? I took a hit there, but thankfully, he was behind me. On the left! Ah! So here's a thing that's happened. Note how... Damn it. There we go. Note how one of those knights spawned back up the top. He's no longer alerted, so he's no longer a threat. Anakin's just, I don't know, just fucking travelled. I think we're getting close to end times here. That was a mistake. Might, depending on where they spawn at, I might use Winter's Bite for these ones. So that's a few more archers. In fact, I think I might have taken over the spawn point, you know? Which is good. One of the things I think I've said in my Anakin milk video is that the abomination headshots. I can't. I would, Beanie, but I can't because you've already got permissions on the channel from like ages ago, and it's something to do with you've changed the URL of your website that points towards your YouTube channel, and yeah, it won't let me. I feel like there should be some more archers. Has it skipped a wave? So again, those constructed headshots. Yeah, I think it skipped a wave. Definitely haven't had the last 6. It feels like I haven't had the last 6. So, notice I have no more gold coming from headshots. How many push-ups do I have to do? I mean, come on, beer 2. Yes! You didn't see nothing. No need to panic. fun day at the park with Anakin. What you talking about, Beanie? What are you talking about? There was no life lost there. I saw nothing. I saw nothing. Yeah, sorry if that's a bit boring, but the monks do not. So me, LG, Beanie, and Sean, or rather, I got their heads together and sucked the collective knowledge from that group. And no. Now look, now this isn't purist, all right? Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do some more of that. So yeah, you'll note the time to stop firing there and concentrate and kill Anakin. And hence why I had him on low life. So if things did go pear-shaped up there, I could just cat him and end it. Because it could have, you know, these things do happen. You get stuck on something. As far as where they spawn, every time you do enough damage to Anakin, he will spawn one of his waves. The wave of archers is equal to +1 to the wave number. So wave 1 would be 2 archers, wave 2 would be 3 archers, and so on. If you want all this again as well, it's all in the old snow globing video. If you put snow globing in on my channel, you'll find it. And I've even drawn you a fucking map and everything. Anyway, so and where you hit them with as you are doing damage. It's not happening, Beanie. So look, I didn't lose any life. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. So you know, and that didn't, you know, there wasn't anything up there. And I'll just wait for the chat to finish, and then I'll carry on. So yeah, you do damage to Anakin. When you get to about 20% of his life bar down, he will summon his first wave. His first wave, as you've said, is proximity. So if I'm standing here, it would be he would spawn 2 archers in either that one, that one, that one, that one, and potentially that one, which is why in my video I say about standing here, which is, the thing is, that video is just the sort of like basics of the strategy. Which I think this is a good place to stand. If I do a more advanced, or if you watch the likes of Camille, Beanie, LG, Sean, they've all developed these tactics on from what we were all discussing at the time. The one thing I do see everyone doing is silver lining. That was my little discovery. But as you do the damage to Anakin, he will spawn his minions. Based on proximity. You'll know he's going to spawn because he will stagger. He will do his movement thing. So when you've hit him enough and he does his stagger, that is your cue to know that he is spawning. If you do damage to him with Winter's Bite and it isn't a headshot, you won't get that stagger. So yeah, if you're damaging him with Winter's Bite, which is the style of the times at the moment, he will, and you're not doing headshots, he won't stagger when he triggers his monks, so you won't get that alert. But the very next headshot that you do, regardless of power, will stagger him. Tell me, I know everyone's answering this sort of stuff in the chat for you as well, so tell me if that makes sense or if you need anything clarified. Because you know what? There's one good thing about every single IDU player that I know. We fucking love answering questions. I cannot talk about this game enough. Keep asking. It's not first hit. It's not first hit, surely. Yeah, that's easy to do. It's easy to forget. Hey, I love questions. We all love questions. Sean, even you're getting knowledgeable enough to answer questions and answer them well, and I know you fucking love it. So yeah, as far as like watching what happens in the videos and then putting it into practice, this is why we train on the really low cycles. This is why you do everything when it's at its easiest. What you do not do, which I've seen plenty of people do, is go, oh, snow globing. I've never tried that. What a great idea. I'll give it a go on cycle 6. We few, the likes of me, Beanie, LG, Sean, and Camille, and Harry, and all that crowd, we've done it so many times, is why it becomes second nature. It's why we can get to the point where we're making what could be a hard prospect of taking the boss out for you something that we can farm. And it's because we've done it over and over and over again. And because we've done it over and over again, you breed that familiarity. As you breed that familiarity soon becomes contempt. When that becomes contempt, that's when you're scoring well. Nah, you're good, Sean. You give good answers more than you give bad, and people will always correct, and we've got a very nice bunch on the Facebook group. Very rare. Sad night. It's on the timing thing. I don't know. It's pretty embarrassing. If no, that's fine. Yeah, but you're learning. You're allowed to be wrong, and it's nice that you're starting to pitch these things in, because it takes pressure off of like the likes of me to be answering or the likes of Beanie, or the likes of anybody to be answering everything, sharing the load, so to speak. Because the one thing about this game is there's two kinds of people in this world. Oh god, that's not bad shooting, is it? There's two kinds of people in this world, on VR at the very least. There's people who play IDU, and there's people who haven't discovered it yet. No, you can't have grace, Sean. I need it, look. I need that last hit, especially for the high cycles. So no grace for you. I'm keeping it for myself. Because, you get that. That is what he gets paid to do, I guess. He's nice to everybody. So one of the things you'll see I'm doing here, I'm trying desperately. I don't know. Trying desperately to make a good score out of Paradise Lost, but this is a difficult level for scoring, and it's because of that shit. Basically, getting those long-range headshots on the little cheruby boys is not an easy prospect, and because they're teleporting down your throat, that then means that those shots either become body shots or headshots very close. One of the problems is how they angle themselves, and you have to shoot up and right a little bit when they are drawing at you to get those hits. But therein lies another problem. You start trying to piss around waiting to get that headshot, and it can get you a hit. Again, I make it look easy because we've put... Yeah, Beanie, just if you know how many hours we've put in, or there is a way to find out, please don't tell me. I don't think I want to know. I want to know, but I also don't want to know. So we've got some more out there. We'll leave them, we'll have a look. So what you'll see that I'm doing at the moment is slowly clearing the outside. I'm not going up yet. I did see. I think it was John posted something about will I. That's I'm aiming for that, but even I would consider that. I don't know, kind of lucky to get that first time. It's a good shot though, wasn't it? Yeah, played for and got. You might not be wrong. So, will I ever get bored of IDU? Is the question on the table. The thing is, even if I am a simple man, even if they weren't adding all of this extra content, all of these extra ways to play, all of these just new things to keep it fresh and keep a challenge on and keep us going, I'd say no. I'd say I might have, if they didn't keep on adding the content, I would. I know Beanie does, and that's more to do with his work. Any massive breaks that I have from this game are usually to do with the fact that I'm trying to craft a video. Oof. Where are you? So one of the things you'll see I'm doing here, woohoo! One of the things you'll see that I was doing there is I was using the bodies of the enemies against them. So the one knight once staggered means that the other knight couldn't get past me. He will try. If you're close enough, he can even hit you through them. It's not a tactic that I'd recommend, if I'm honest, because they can always slip round their buddy in front of them. Oh, doesn't have my name on it. Oh, that one might. Still quite a lot of stuff in the sky up there, you know. I'm not liking that. So what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, I don't think. Where's that come? Oh, it's you. I see you. So you remember that Paradise Lost where I said about the camouflage? Here's a good example. That was a lucky headshot, by the way. A lucky headshot, by the way. That was I mean, I am playing for these. I'm yeah, I'm not doing too bad tonight. Tracking must be on point. Either that or my aim bot is I've dialed. That might be it. Actually, I might have dialed my VR aim bot up too many notches tonight. I mean, it's one of the videos that I actually want to do, and feel free to beat me to it. IDU. Why am I still playing this almost 2 years on? And there's a lot of reasons. There is a hell of a lot of reasons. Idiots like me and Beanie have got somewhere to compete, and LG and Sean and you know, and some of the other names that are coming up and big names that are playing, and then everybody else as well that are playing as well, because you're all getting better. And yeah, that's what we want. We want big fishes and all the fishes in a bigger pond. But yeah, why are we playing so far along? And the reason being is because VR's amazing, or my humble opinion on it is VR's amazing. Yeah, that. Because VR is amazing. I want to spend more time in VR because it's awesome. And there's not a lot of games that allow you to do that. I can't think. There are games, but I can't think of a lot that hold my attention for as long as this does. I don't think Big Sean's been on it at the moment, but he will be. And the other thing that I will say as well is me looking at covering other games, which I will talk about in the stream, is not a boredom thing. Let's have a look. He does. He's what in the crossbow? At any strategy game, if there is enough. See, I think the other big thing for me is, like, for instance, when I first started playing this, I did very well playing it different from other people. I did very well playing this whole fast style and pushing for the crossbow at a time where the crossbow wasn't really liked. Well, that probably should have hit me. That's not going to, though. Thank you very much, Sean. Hopefully you're not a minority, but you might be. And free. Don't forget free. The changes that they make are free. I mean, you look at the value concept of this game as well. It's how I judge games. Look at the... I mean, you guys are usually so good at throwing axes. That was fucking terrible, mate. I don't want this knight on my hatchet throwing team. Yes, this is the problem. Show you another way to conquer this bit. I'm not a fan of this. So I'm not a fan of this part. I don't like going up that middle part, and I don't want to teleport to the top. Going onto that platform will, and then dropping back, will teleport some to us. Now, the only problem we've got over there... Right, so what we want to do is we want to put those cupids into rage mode. That will bring them along to us. A simple arrow. Dong! Right, here they come. So, nice little Siege of Heaven joke there for you, just in case you don't play. Shouldn't be messing around with this. So yeah, what I'm hoping to do here, from up here, note that you can stand on these bits. I think you can still get on the top here as well. So we could go up there and attack down. Attacking down is always a good prospect. That's something that I will show off in a minute. From up here, I like to go onto this platform here. I like to go to this side. I'll clear this out and make sure it's all done. It's a good idea to take those cupids out as well, otherwise they can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, I know, right? What other games? And then we can attack down the corridors from here. It is. The Quest 2 is an IDU simulator machine. I hear it emulates some other kinds of games as well. But yeah, the reason why I'm going to be covering some other games is what I'm doing on the channel, I believe, is getting to the point where those that play IDU, I already have as subscribers. So to grow the channel a little bit, I want to try and push in some other directions. By doing so, those same people that might be interested in other games and don't know about IDU yet will have the opportunity to know about IDU. And there you go, everyone's a winner. The games that I'm showing off, because they'll get me being me playing it. We might get some new faces in, and most importantly, you guys can win some free games to never play, right? That's what we want, isn't it? Free stuff to go into our library that we never or seldom play. Where's that? He's hidden somewhere. He's close. So that's actually quite something that I should address. I'm holding slow time. I should really hold my thing out so you guys can see my bow out, so you can see how much I'm abusing it. So if you don't know, there are times when you don't know where that Cupid is. As long as you are in cover and if you hear it, the time from shot to impact gives you an idea of how close they are. I'm taking that. Yes, it's all about the animals, Sean. You got it. So yeah, what I was getting at there is, if for instance you hear that and then the creak of the bow, if I was then to teleport down here and then we hear the shot and then a long tink tink, a decent distance between or a decent time between shot to impact, well, guess what, ladies and gents? That means that the Cupid is far away, so you then don't have to worry about checking your immediate. You just have to check close, because we all have it that, you know, on this level, the reason why you take hits is because you don't clear the Cupids usually on the outside. That's or at least that's where I take my hits. Not clearing the Cupids on the outside, or having one teleport down my throat and I didn't hear it. They know that my left ear is gammed up. I swear they do. So here's another classic example of something that I'm going to say and then not do. We have a quiver. We have a full Hand of God lot of arrows. So we can now happily, absolutely burn through our Hand of Gods, knowing that we can pick up that quiver just before we go and face Gabriel. We might as well. Yeah. Get out of the way. Oh, okay. There you go. So, classic Hand of God strategy here. Don't know if you've seen this one. This is quite a forward-thinking and out there Hand of God. Setting up bubbles that do fuck all. Good opening strategy for this second part of the level. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if Beanie gets it, I was just, you know, showing off the graphics of our wonderful game, you know? Something slick with Gabriel. Well, no, because I want points. What I'm going to do with Gabriel, so here's a good situation. We'll slow those ones down. Where was that? No? Okay. We'll slow those ones down so we've got time to deal with that one at the back. Get the headshots. This is normally the sort of situation that I would nope out of. But by putting that Hand of God down, I slowed those guys down. The headshots stagger them for even longer. And if it did all go wrong and arrows come flying at me, this will do something to them and at least slow them down. I wouldn't ditch ever trying to shield, because it does work. As Beanie found out with Gabriel, as you guys may or may not know, because I didn't know this until he stupid enough to try, is you can block, or stupid enough, this is how we find things out. Ooh, this is a nope out, bye-bye. So, one thing that Beanie found out is that you can block Gabriel's fireballs, and the way you do that is by putting the shield out very far in front of you. Now, I like to block like this. See, I find the other way around. I actually find the other way around, Beanie. I find that it does all right with projectile attacks, as long as you put the shield plenty in front of you. Sorry, it does okay with melee attacks, but fails at projectiles. But this is, I'll try and demonstrate it actually, because one of the things that I do that I don't see a lot of other people do, I strike with the shield at the same time as blocking to try and stagger. But Yes, the shield works if you flip it over, but come on now. You don't use a shield like that. Playing for the realism here. It's not how you use a shield, but it does work. And as this is something that Missy Dog, or as you guys all know, the In-Depth Unchained Top Tips, his channel, is there are multiple ways to block. I was going to do a video on this because I think there's only really 3 main styles. There is regular. I have it quite far out in front of me. I find that makes a difference. So that's one. That's one. There we go. That's one way. Another way is to put the shield out in front of you. Now, as a long-time martial artist in Shotokan Karate, there is a block called, I believe it, if I remember rightly, because it's been a while since I've been practicing, called Nagyuki, or a rising block, where your hand starts from your hip, comes up through the center, and then twists. And the idea is that you can block a punch and also pull an arm. Do you mind? I'm trying to give karate lessons here, fuck's sake. So, you could, as well as block a punch, break an arm on that block, apparently. This is working out quite nicely. Top tip: try and give karate lessons. Cupids will come to you. So, doing that maneuver, and the reason why that maneuver is in karate is because when you flinch backwards, it's very natural to turn your arm over and try and, like, you know, shy away from danger. Nice manly scream there for you. So that's another way to block. This will stop arrows, and I don't like it. You may see me use it because it is very natural. It is and you flip the shield over to defend. The last way to defend, and this one is mainly for melee enemies, is just to put the shield out in front of you. And the reason being is because that basically makes your movement box. So we know what I'm just asking for losing life whilst trying to give shield lessons here. It was definitely camouflaged, that one. And let's clear this bit first, and then I'll go and find a knight to try and demonstrate what I've got that on about for the next 5 minutes. Because I think there'll be some knights down the bottom. Nope. Yeah, I suppose that's as good a one as any, but it's so that I know that we're, again, it's like I've said, it's why I try and, when I do things, or when I'm doing videos on things, it's why I try and define them with some sort of name or something, not because I want to go down in history as the person who created X, but just so that we're all, I don't know, so I guess we know that we're all talking the same language. There's kind of an IDU language already, I think. Or at least definitely a culture. So, yes, it does. This one is very jam-packed as far as enemy density is concerned, because they are on, let's see, 1, +2, +3, +4, +5. I think there's 6 levels to this, and there's enemies on each. So that whole rule of 17 is really being worked here. So let's... Oh, Cupid's Wrath ×3. If only this was a speed run. I tell you what, typical, isn't it? There's no knights. So, straight in the staff. You love it. I'm gonna see what I've done here is I've retreated round this corner. I've put some headshots in, staggered some people. Got to watch out on that side because they could come that way. But I've retreated back round this corner for cover. Who would have thought? Those ones I thought had my name on. So that's Cupid's. No, that's the Black Monk, I think. You, sir. Thank you. So, yeah, the last kind of shield, it's going to be really difficult. I won't demonstrate it on... No, I suppose I could. It kind of goes in with how I was doing my pushing on Anakin. Not having that. Ooh. That was risky. Shouldn't have really done that. Where are they coming from? I can hear them. This is why you stay near cover. We're in Paradise Lost. Talking about visiting, I vacation here. It's kind of like that holiday vacation simulator game. Except we do it in Paradise Lost. Right. That's looking like we're getting somewhere. So you'll see that I cleared the top out. I only came down the bottom straight away to see if there was any knights there. I would usually, on this part, start from the top and work my way down through this section. However, it is important to clear this top bit and then clear these side bits. This can't be your favourite world, Sean, unless you're a bloody masochist. So, definitely not mine. No, it's not LG's. It's very peaceful. Now you see these extra ones that are spawning in every now and again. That will be because enemies above us will be moving around. As they move around in and out of our just call it area of influence, because that's what they can spawn into. That will cause other ones to spawn. I don't think it works with normal arrows. Let's try. Don't think it does. Yes, I do as well. Working from the top down can be risky, but can be a lot easier. Hello, Carol. Good to have you on board. That's a lot of enemies. I forgot about them. Oh! Different configuration. I should have done that quicker, but now party's coming to me, and I can start thinning these numbers out. This is a note out situation, but we can still fight whilst we're doing it. Damn it. Still one down. There we go. So what I should have done, because sometimes they all look the same. I thought it's not rare, Sean. I take hits all the time doing silly shit. I thought it was the one where that's all blocked off and not the one it actually is. Hear that? That sounds like an orphan to me. Now, we're going to get that orphan. Where is it? I do miss. Look, I just missed then. It's above. That's good. So now that we know that it's above, and that hopefully it's not going to run away, we go up, we wait for them to come to us, and we thin the numbers out. Because going up there and attacking is... right, it's a self-created problem. If I don't talk to you... I do miss. Look, miss all the time. Bam, 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 miss, miss, miss. So, if I keep on going up here, alerting some, I'm not going to be stupid and fight my way through them like I normally would. As entertaining as it is, so we've alerted them. We'll come back down. We don't need to fight all of them. We never need to fight all of them at the same time. These strategies that I'm using here are the same sort of strategies that you would use on any cycle. Oh, you went all the way down there. There you go, proving you wrong. I did 4. So another good way to take that bit of the room out, because I've kind of messed up the configuration on that one. I take a vow every day not to be stupid. However, I am terrible at vows. See, look at those misses. Loads of them. All the misses. So, I believe the orphan's up there, unless I haven't made line of sight and she's behind one of the pillars here, but I don't think so. Because I think she would have moved by now. We're definitely within her radius. So we're going to try and finish up everything that we can here. Then we're going to go and check those peripheries. I'm not going to shoot that one because I don't exactly know where the orphan is. But I've got an idea. Look at this guy. This is why you look around. That's 3 points, that. Easy. Hello, JJ. That's right, I'm not going through anything that I think will be of note to you. Oh, look at these guys, all up for it. Now, my shots might alert this orphan, we shall see. Shouldn't really be having a sniper duel with these guys. It's bad form. Let's go up there, kill that one. I think you're in that tower then. Yeah, see, thing is, I get the same from all of you lot as well. It doesn't matter what level you play. I watch people play this, and I fucking love it. And B, hello, Camille. Right, let's see if we can keep her at this distance. I think that's it. Oh, she didn't fall off. It is one. Sean, you should be on the Discord. Everybody should be on the Discord. Yes, I know it's a pain in the arse, but there is a lot of information and a lot of things that go down there that don't on Facebook. Yes, I did get her. I got her quite well. Oh, whilst JJ's here, I will give a quick shout out to something that I've been badgering him about for ages, which I will possibly do. Please do, Beanie. So something that I've been badgering JJ to do, or Elite Jonathan to do, is to put his Beat the Bar back together. Because yeah, he didn't get a shot. Because one of the problems that we have with what I think is probably one of, well, course I'm going to think it because I can do it fast. But Runner is a fantastic mode. However, we all know that it is dominated by RNG. I've shown you how to get that RNG also. And then it becomes, I mean, it's not inevitable when you get the right, I'll have a wet whilst I'm talking to you guys, of water. It's not inevitable that if you just get the RNG, you can get those scores. LG, JJ, Camille, all of these people, Beanie, will all tell you that it matters when you pick up the arrow, whether you get the quivers, and how well you use it. Because if you don't know how to use it, you're still not going to get great times. So what he is planning to do is I've badgered him to reopen the Beat the Bar, which you may have seen some of us pissing about with in some of the other seasons. And what Beat the Bar was originally designed for was something that JJ put together so that we could have some way of competing against each other on a speed basis between tournaments, because we like our tournament play and we'd like to practice it. And if we haven't got any competition, I mean, you know, it's just one other way to get G'd on for these things. I do actually need 2 quivers. I need to sort that one out. I'll do that in a minute. So what he is doing is he, on his latest video on his channel, which I highly recommend you go and check out, he has the information on what the proposal is for this competition. He has a spreadsheet that allows you to enter all of your bits and pieces. One of the problems that we had with the... You can. Yeah, but it's not about the beating, Sean. It's about the taking part. How do you think I get this fast? By playing fast. Right. I think we're done. We can, and we will do it for your entertainment. Oh, sorry, I'm almost finished. So yeah, ooh, heard the creak there. Gonna have to dodge that one. Look at this. Probably could have had a lot more fun with him in here, but it probably would have cost me some life. So I know I've got a blood here, so we're going to top up before we leave. Maybe I will do the tickle. So, yeah, on the speed basis side of things, JJ put it together and he was very limited into what he could do. To be able to do it properly, people need to overlay a time on their video, which is a pain in the arse. Now, Super Bright are doing that for us. The only restriction that JJ is going to be placing on us for Beat the Bar, hey, if the tickle's good enough for the best in the world, that's good enough for me. So, yeah, JJ's put this together so that we can basically play all of the levels and for there to be separate scores on all the levels. That's the first important thing, because at the moment, you either play Paradise Lost and get Divine Sight 5, or you play Paradise Lost and get Divine Sight 5. That's the way to get a decent score. That's the only way. No one's even looking at the other levels because they're longer and they're not going to get recorded. Whereas with what Elite Jonathan's doing, you will be able to go on a level and you'll be able to compete on the different levels. So if you're not particularly fast, but you're really fucking good at Desolation and you can get through that at a clip, you can now compete with those that can only do Paradise Lost and get a decent score like me. There's also, for a little bit more kudos, and this is where it's for about people like me and JJ, and so that we can kind of push against each other, is doing it without getting hit. Doesn't add anything to your time or anything along those lines. Sack juggling, if the best tickle Gabriel in that way, you better believe I'll do it. So we're not going to do anything special here other than tickle his bottom. Not quite so good. So what we are going to do, though, is we're going to push him off. Which way is he going? So note how where I am determines where he goes, as long as I stick close. So if I want him to go to the left, I would go to his right. If I want him to go right, I would go to his left. The other thing that I will show you is how to manipulate him when he's here. So if we go to this pillar, because that's where we're going to be fighting from, I'm going to be putting my submissions into him. Get out of the way of that. He's now going to go, he might do his strikes or he might go backwards. So he's going to do his 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice how I'm looking away as well. He might do his backward strike. He's going to go into that. Now what we're going to do, he's starting to get too far left. I don't want him left. So I'm going to slow motion him. He's trying to get that rock, but he is going to fail, I think. And I'm going to go this side. The reason why I'm going this side, hey, good effort, Gabe. Because I'm going this side and he can't see me. He wants to come back into my field of view. This is how I've seen T-Bells asking about how to control Gabriel. And there's 2 ways to do it. This is one of them. I'm going to let him... 1, 2, 3. Struggling to find the time is what we do. So now, depending on... So what you'll see I'm doing here is I'm making use of Hand of Gods. I also, when I come around here, see how far I put the shield out in front of me, because those fireballs can sneak around these pillars and hit you. And it is fucking devastating when it happens on really high cycles. So at this stage, my plan is to play... It's only 2 life at this stage. My plan is to play these cycles like I would really high cycles until we actually get there, and then that'll prep me. So he's going to do his 3 hits. We're around the corner. We look away. He's getting a little bit too far to the right for my liking, so I'm going to engage him on this side. Ooh, that was a bit premature. And now he comes across to the left. We'll Hand of God him. Oh, that was a bad Hand of God. That's a better one. Get out of the way of that. Go on, back into your bubble. 1, 2, 3. Now he'll move back. And note. Nice one, JJ. Note how I'm trying to keep him at a decent range, because this is where... That's where the points are at. And yep, nice one, Camille. Thank you. I thought that was you on the way out. Cheers. Another thing that we did, just so you guys know as well, when I'm losing life, when I lose 2 is when you start picking up a blood. If you have 1 bar of life left, do not pick up a blood until either you are finished with the level completely and have killed everything, or take another hit. You do not want to be picking Blood of the Lambs up when you only have 1 bar, for the simple reason that when you have the Blood of the Lamb upgraded to its maximum, there is a 30% chance that you will get both bars back. You want to make use of that. If you are picking up bloods, knowing this game, that Blood of the Lamb there, whether I have 1 bar or 2 bar, may be already selected to give me 2 life back. If I pick it up when I'm at 1 bar, then I've wasted it. Whereas if I wait until I'm at 2, that's what you should always do. That's how you should always play, and always pick up Holy Armors last, especially if there is a lot of health on the level, because Holy Armors are rare. And also Holy Armors have no value at cycle 1 to 4 other than that you can take a hit from them. From cycle 5 and onwards, they have additional value because they're saving you more life. And also note, try and heal off of the level and try and keep that heal open for you. Don't use that one unless you are not going into Gabriel at full health or 1 left. It's not, Sean. You've seen me play. You've seen that it works out at about... Over time, it is and does work out at 30%. But maybe you're not doing that. Right, let's see if I can hit this portal. I always say I can. I always do it off stream. Yes! Speedrunners take note. If you can hit that shot, you can get through Paradise Lost a little quicker because you can hit that portal before the rest of it is generated, which you then can't land on. Right, what we like for time. And most importantly, what we like for battery. Okay, looking good. Yeah, always, if you can get far in this game, let's see. Yes, theoretically you could have armor unlocked before it has the ability to take... For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, right now, if I took a hit from anything, this Cupid here, I would take 2 points of damage because I am on cycle 5. From cycle 4 and onwards, you take multiple blocks of health are taken from your life for hits. When you get to cycle cycle 2, you get an upgrade for holy armor, which then allows it to absorb all the damage. So as a for instance, you'll probably have even seen examples of possibly LG, possibly Sean, probably Harry, and maybe even Camille as well, and maybe even Lee Jonathan, and probably Beanie. Now that this is here, if you were at, say, cycle, I don't know, cycle really hard, what is it? You would be taking the maximum amount of damage per hit at 13, I think, unlucky for some, cycle 13. And that has 6 skulls, and that's the maximum. And that basically means from the full 12 life, 2 hits from anything, and you are out. LG will know what... Yeah, it is 13. So yeah, unlucky for some. Fucking unlucky for us. So, at cycle 13... Yeah. So, at cycle 13... I mean, 14 is also the other cycle that you start getting 6 damage from, and then everything from there, everything's still getting faster, everything's still getting more HP, but you can never take any more damage than 6 blocks at a time. So that would mean it... Oh, come on, stop just looking at me. Hey, you good dude, you've never been there, so why would you know? But it was a very close... You would. The way you survive is you just do exactly the same as what you do through the early cycles. To a lot of players, high cycles is like past 3. Yes, they did, and Beanie stopped that. Yeah, Super Bright wanted it to get to a point where you could take 1 hit and be dead. And yeah, I remember Beanie shutting that shit down quick sharp, and it's probably just as well he did. The thing is, they then added the thing to Holy Armor, but Holy Armor's a rare enough drop. So what basically Holy Armor does for us when it is at the later stages is at cycle 13, this guy hits me, I lose 6 blocks of health. At cycle 13, if I had 1 armor, if this guy hits me, I just lose the 1 armor. Previous to the update, the armor would just be another block of health, and don't know if any of you guys are familiar with magic cards, or trample damage is what it would be called in magic cards, or I'm trying to think, or roll over, I suppose it would be in other things, but it would destroy the armor and then take 5 blocks of health. So yeah, thanks to how Holy Armor now works after you've got the achievement, which is you get for just, I think it's for killing Asmo on cycle 2. It's been a long time since I've done that, or had to get that achievement. Did I get them? Yeah, I did. So that's why Holy Armor, like cycle 1 to 4, probably 1 to 6, I don't worry too much about my Holy Armor. From that point on, I want more, as much Holy Armor as I can, and I don't want to be wasting it on these cycles. And that's why I mean about being efficient with your Holy Armors. If you are losing Holy Armors on cycle 1 to 4, well, they're just another peg of life. But if you're losing them from cycle 2 and onwards, they are the equivalent of multiple hits. And taking all of those multiple hits can make your life go further. And what do we also know about scoring in this game? We know that the further we can get... Ooh, that's a bad arrow. That's a bad arrow. The further we can get... Oh, that's a very bad arrow. Let's do that. And let's nope out of that a little bit. See that miss? That miss was horrendous. This is, this is why Beanie got on board. He's been doing a lot of work in the background that I hope you lot appreciate, because I know I fucking do. Can you imagine one-hit death? Jesus. I mean, armor would still counter that, but still, not any armor, and to go from that to dead. One of the things that I also will say, because I didn't get a chance to say it, I really ran out of time whilst I was explaining how Grace of God works, is, and this is another quite high-level strategy, is with Grace of God, if you are taking multiple hits, let's say, for instance, you are down to your last hit, yeah, the armor achievement. The armor's definitely needed. Yeah, he's one of them. Yes, I've played the original as well. I may do a stream on it. I mean, with JJ's speed thing, we kind of have a one-hit death kind of mode, in that you wouldn't actually die, but you would fail if you get hit. But yeah, I'll leave you guys to have a look at that. I'll be doing some videos on that soon. But yeah, one of the things that I found with Holy Armor is, let's say, for instance, we were at high cycle. I think LG and Beanie will be able to confirm this. Let's say we could take 6 damage, and that would kill us. What Grace of God will do in that situation, let's say we had 3 life and we took 6 damage, it would take all 3 of those health and the last block and the Grace of God and leave us at 1 health. The reason why I say this is, and this is mainly for the guys that get far, and this is the reason why I didn't put it in the video, because the guys that can get that far where it'd be useful probably know about it. But if, say, for instance, you are on very low life, you are at the stage where you can take multiple hits from damage, there is no point healing up or picking up a single blood of the lamb until you have enough to be able to take 1 hit before the Grace of God. I think I've explained that well enough, possibly, maybe not. I'll have to listen to the recording, and hopefully I've got my point across. But yeah, that again, that's like silly high level strategy. That's more for the likes of me and Beanie and LG, and I think anybody who needs to know that shit already knows it. So right, on with the actual strategy, because I've been yammering on here and I'm not actually telling you anything about what I'm doing, which is what I was supposed to be doing. So lots of areas coming up, obviously, I don't want or need. One of the problems the problems that I'm going to have with what I'm doing, and this is another one of these situations where I will happily tell you in my videos to do one thing, but then actually do another. Is you remember I said about... I'm going to take those cupids out, and then we'll have those axe chuckers. Right, let's get up here. I'm going to put so again, constructing the distance. That's a much further headshot. Oh, he's only gone and moved. This is a much further headshot than it would have been from standing on that edge. We're that far away that we don't need to worry about them chucking axes. Because that is the case, that dude's just going to sit there and take hits. So we don't need to worry about return fire at this distance, and we are maximizing the points that we are scoring. It then becomes inevitable. You don't need to be able to hit these shots first time. As long as you can keep your arms straight, it is inevitable. You fire at the same... I am doing this on purpose. You fire at the same amount of draw, slowly bringing the arrows down, making sure you try and keep them on a straight line, trying for that headshot. So I know my distance is about here. I'll keep on firing. One of these days, body shot. Body shot. Look at these. There we go. Each headshot, because they're too far away and can't fight back, will stagger them, and will also stop them. Will actually get them a little bit further back, because they're going a little bit further back. They'll have a handful more points. So you'll see that a knight at this sort of distance, I can get 4 headshots out of. I can probably get about 6 headshots. These are really bad arrows. I can probably get about 6 to 8 arrows at a much closer distance. But based on the amount of HP the enemy would be losing... Oh, I was hoping to get that follow-up. Wait for them to finish staggering as well before you shoot them. So what I was saying about something that I do, whilst I'm boring you with my long-range crap, and I'm also moving back a little bit myself to try and extend that range. One of the things that I'm not going to be able to do on my streams that I highly recommend, and I believe is still working, but I haven't had a chance to test, I think only Beanie will be able to tell me whether this is the case or not, is you will have seen that I did a little tips in 30 ticks that says about pit selector. I can tell you now there are a lot more points in Agony, and there are a lot more resources in Agony for us. So we want to try and get Agony as often as possible. The way we get Agony as often as possible is if you go into a pit in Agony, in Abyss, if we go into, so like even those ones, Sean, I could lure him all the way up to the top, go back to where I was and do the headshots. It is very boring though, and unfortunately it is all we have. Seems as Super Bright took away my toy that made... Oh, that's a really nice shrapnel blast. Here's another tip. Don't be afraid to take a knee. If you... Oh, hello. Yeah, I'd agree. Despair is a much easier shout and a much easier orphan chase. We all know about that orphan on Agony. So what I'm doing here, that shrapnel blast really hasn't helped. I tell you what, though. I could show you that scoring. Does anybody want to see the scoring technique that I've banged on about a little while? Because I haven't shown this to anybody. Yeah, go on. Right. It's probably not ideal. It's not a good idea, is it? Why is he picking up shrapnel blast? Let me show you. Right, so we're going to kill this guy. Right, if I start yammering on about something, remind me that I've got shrapnel blast and that I need to show it off. This is not a world first, like, amazing scoring technique. you can get a little extra points out of this. If I thought it would be worth it, you better believe I would be doing a video on it. It's okay. It's not amazing. It is not Barrage of Needles. The problem with this technique is to do it effectively, you don't just need Shrapnel Blast. I mean, you didn't just need Shrapnel Blast with Barrage of Needles. It's way too painful to set up. And to set it up, but you can set it up with things like Winter's Bite and, well, yeah, Winter's Bite. Hand of God only slows them, which isn't enough. But I will show you. Right, so bear with. I might take some hits here trying to set this up, but I will set it up nonetheless. So what we are looking for is we want knights. Well, ideally, we want a black knight as the target, and we want a knight with a shield. I will explain why in a minute, but I think a knight with a shield is the best tactic. This is a good place to come. Get those cupids dealt with first, and this is quite a nice route in. I will, but I'm going to clear everything first so I can mess around with it. Again, we want to keep this guy at a nice big distance. So yeah, what I was saying about the whole pit selector thing, remind me if I yammer on before I get to the top. With the whole pit selector thing, I'm not going to have chance during these streams, I think, to be able to go through the game, and if I get despair, keep running and get all the way to agony on the next cycle. I'm not going fast enough to be able to do that. Normally, I would consider myself lucky every time I get agony, and every time I do get agony, I would save and quit anyway to try and influence the next hit. It's not great, but it does give you some extra points. We'll do it live. We'll do a calculation live. I'll get you guys working in the chat. How's this sound? How's this sound like for a plan that can only go right? So let's have a... So I'm still going to keep clearing. So see how I've done this bit? I haven't been under threat at all yet. And there is a lot of enemies in this little complex. There's more up there than anything else. Careful at this point that you don't miss your shot. There is an archer at the bottom there. Normally he would just be wandering around. He should be just around this corner. It's always one of those, one of the fast ones. And then we want to get those. So there isn't much of a risk up there, but I am going to use Hand of God because there's a few enemies. It's a bit faster. And we'll get the incubi dealt with as well. Take you. Where's he gone? Can't see him. There he is. So again, we construct building these points by building these headshots. Right, you guys ain't seen nothing. That's probably just as well, actually. So we'll go up here. This is dangerous because the only thing that I can do with that fireball now is duck it, which I will. And I'll move my head slightly and note hear how I'm tapping the slow motion to make sure I don't get pegged by that. And now what I'm going to simply do, simply, as long as we hit those headshots before he casts his fireball, we're good. I'm not doing this for dramatics either. I genuinely am missing those headshots and leaving it to the last minute. But there you go. So by doing that, we were probably scoring maybe close to 1,000 points. You can get them further away than that and they will do the job. Anyway, so that's, again, another good example of constructing headshots. I will deal with the stuff down the bottom here. Damn it. See all that greatness just then? These downward shots are actually quite difficult. Because quest controllers don't like it for dragging. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. This is actually ideal. I'll demonstrate it here. Could do all of them. So what I'm going to do, freeze him mid-jump, freeze. Now watch this. We are on 3352703. So I usually, in this circumstance, just remember 2,703. I don't need to worry about the rest. I am slow timing, so we'll get plenty of thing out of this. I could hit this guy. Hear all that headshots? About 3 grand on that shot, so that wasn't too bad. Another 2 and a bit there. Another 2 and a bit there. Another 2 and a bit there as well. We'll finish that one off. Ideally, what I want to do... In fact, they might have... You know what? They might have improved the scoring on that. I'm going to have to check this again, because that wasn't too bad. Ah, you missed. What I'm going to try and do now for my next trick... So that is shooting through one enemy to hit the head of another. What we're going to try and do now... Steady. Clear the area a little bit. I'm going to freeze you. Freeze you. I don't know what he's playing at. I'm sorry, guys. It's terrible behaviour. Knights are usually so disciplined, controlled, well-behaved as well. That guy's really having a great time with that wall. So what we're going to do here is the problem with this technique... Oh, hello, you. There we go. Ooh. What we're going to do here now is we're going to try and angle through a little bit of pushing this shield lip to hit that, so I can hit that guy's head. I'll put another one of these down just to keep everything slow. And then what we're going to do is now we can get that score without having to rely... Ah, he's moved. We're going to have to do it on different ones because these ones are starting to run out of life. But my point is, you can fire through this shield, which then the only damage that's being done is to the thing behind the guy. Yes, I can do that, and that'll award me some points if you can keep it all nice and close and tucked in. But look how much effort, resources, and various bits and pieces I am having to put in just for a few extra 1,000 points. Previously, all you had to do with Barrage of Needles is get close and blast them. Now, that presents other problems, but I will tell you now that I don't think it's worth it. I don't think. Hence why I'm, A, not doing it. The other problem as well, who the fuck carries shrapnel blast around with them as a useful weapon, for fuck's sake? Hello, Kim. Hey! Hello, Knights. Just in case people don't know who Knights You Say Me is, that is Rick Beth. He is, right, let me tell you a little bit about Rick Beth. He is one of the guys that I enjoy to watch because he is fast. And not only is he fast, he is smooth. So, high praise coming from me, I think. Now, let me show you what I was trying to show you with the shield, naughty. What I'm doing here, Rick Beth, is I'm showing people the scoring technique that could be the next big thing, but I doubt it. See, his arm's in the way, but ideally what I want to do... Let's see if I can get it anyway. 2,071 points. Not so good. That one wasn't a very good one. I don't think I'm going to get it on here, these ones. Let's have a look. Yeah, Rick Bess is smooth as butter. What I would highly recommend going and having a look at his channel. He has what I regard as one of the most satisfying videos of him just playing through Purgatory to a rap song, which I know it's. I don't think it's called bringing 88 back, but I know that's the line, and I still hear that track in my head when I'm playing Paradise Lost. Thanks to him, it's a very well put together video, and I all highly recommend you go and check out his channel, drop him a sub, and listen to a great piece of rap if you are into that thing, with some excellent shooting and very satisfying shots. Right, I'm going back now to have a quick look, because I don't think I've checked all of this, because I was too excited to show people Shrapnel Blast Off. I will show that Shrapnel Blast Off again. I think the first one was actually, might be, because I haven't really practiced it, might be one of the best shots that I've done with it, and there might be something in actually having to hit a live opponent and the head behind it, as opposed to a shield. The reason why I like the whole shield thing yes, I know. I could increase the distance. I could. You are quite right, Beanie. I could increase the distance, but it's a ball ache already. So yeah, what Beanie's saying there is I could set all of that up, and then so I could put the Hand of God down, freeze them, push them together so that they're in kissy range, and then try and get really far back and angle these shrapnel blasts. Does this sound like fun to anybody? Because it doesn't sound like fun to me. Now, Barrage of Needles, that was fun. Barrage of Needles was really nice, and it fit very well in with the whole Executioner. Yes, I know you mean in general. I'm talking about you could do the same with Shrapnel Blast, and I believe it would increase the points, because you would increase, I think technically you would increase the distance that those headshots are proccing off at. I don't want to though, I really don't, but maybe I will. Okay. So, but yeah, so here is the big thing that everybody used to complain, or the complainers about Barrage. Oh, I'm gonna have a quick wet and open a door here a second, because I'm getting a little warm. It's a little warm in merry old England, like, you know, probably more than 20 degrees. It's when us Brits start to sweat, because we don't know what warm weather actually is. You know, clouds come over and it's not raining, and we get the barbecue out. No worries, Rick Bess. Don't worry about rewinding just yet, Rick. I'll yes, no, you're quite right on the whole night tick scoring chart. 39C, we would be melted to the pavement in that sort of weather. That would be considered a heat wave for us, I think. So here's the problem with Shrapnel Blast, as amazing as it can be. I don't know if you were counting, but to set up that scenario, I used no less than 2 or 3 Winter's Bites. I used a couple of Hand of Gods, and I have to use multiple Shrapnel Blasts. Now, I don't know if anyone was paying attention, but my best score was when Barrage of Needles was removed as a tactic. The reason being is because I could get much further into the game. The reason being I could get much further into the game is I wasn't getting to Anakim, having wasted all of my fucking arrows because of Barrage of Needles, and having nothing to deal with the guy. That's literally it. So those that hated Barrage of Needles are usually those that didn't either A, know how to play it, or B, want to play it, because it is hard. It's not a difficult strategy to do or play. However, it is a quiver hungry strategy. Did we have any quivers back there? So if you can imagine that I did that on every pair of knights and shielded knights, unless I'm hitting 4 quivers a level, I'm done. Ooh, I've heard. heard an orphan. I think she's through there, but I did hit a stray arrow, so let's... Yeah, she's going. Thought so. Stay there, please. Thank you very much. So, again... Let's study you. Let's get you. Right, those guys are in the hand of God, so we don't need to worry too much about them. I do want to get them out of the way. I know that she can't go much further along, so we are all good. I do want to deal with the things that are cropping up. Ooh. Oh, cheeky angles. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can't shoot for shit. There's a good example. A orphan, just a normal shot will give you the headshot gold, whereas a headshot will get you double the normal gold. 36. Well, double and a little bit again. So that's 18 times 2. So maybe there's a bonus for getting headshots on them. I thought I did. I thought I saw that. Now, why can't she run away? Because we are right next to her. She ain't going nowhere, so as long as you stay on her. Yeah. Come on. Always confirm your orphan kills. There's been many a time when I've had them down to a sliver of life, thought that I've killed them, thought that I've heard the noise, only to then carry on through the level and hear them go. That does happen, but yeah, always confirm your orphans, kids. So what we're going to do here, I want those ghosts out of the way. I want to... Look at these cupids, they've been taking archery lessons, I tell you. I want to try and defang this a little bit. You'll hear me talking about defanging levels in Abyss quite a lot. And what I mean by defanging, for anyone who thinks that these are amazing shots, they're not. I'm just shooting slightly to the right of the white circle. The reason why you shoot slightly to the right is with their arm outstretched, it moves their chest in such a way where if you shoot slightly to the right, you will hit them. Anyway, defanging the level is something that I like to do on Abyss, and it's very similar to how you kind of play elements of Paradise Lost in regards to the fact that we want to take those guys out, and we want to do it. We want to take out the Cupids first. There are nowhere near as many in Paradise Lost, but if we can take out them, those are usually the things that are hitting you. Those are usually the things that are scoring those hits. That was a lucky headshot. Look at these guys in their roof plays. So yeah, but what I mean by defanging the level is taking out... Oh yeah, cheers, mate. Yes, maybe I do need some archery lessons, Beanie. Thank you for pointing that out. Maybe we could maybe get me some funds from Super Bright Coffers. Get me the archery lessons so I don't have to pay from. What's the chance of that happening? Virtual archery lessons. Can you imagine it? So again, I've got the Hand of God here. I probably shouldn't have, but it just gives me an easier time of something that could be quite a tough situation. Don't you start, LG. Right, so... I am still looking for another opportunity to show off Shrapnel Blast. That's not good. And I'm not going to bash him with the shield, because I will most likely hit him into something. So in that circumstance, I'll abuse slow time and move away. Interesting note, guess how many points one of those is worth? Has anybody actually fucking checked? I can tell you it's 1. Or I think it's 1. So 359. Getting a headshot on a flaming skull at 359. Okay, well, it's a lot less than a normal headshot, but it's not worth a lot. Oh, no, it's given me the gold, hasn't it? So, if I remember rightly, because I tested this the other day, I test a lot of things, so you'll have to forgive me if I forget. This is the problem with some of the testing that I do. If I don't write the things down, I have to retest them, and then sometimes I can't be bothered. If I remember rightly... the skulls actually give you no points other than the gold that you score from them. Damn it. Sean was asking me about the slow motion technique that I use. And what I'm using here is very close. Well, yeah, it's pretty much what I would use all the time. Slow motion before I take the shot. I release slow motion. I don't draw the arrow to release slow motion. I release the button, draw the arrow, fire, and then reapply the slow motion. Usually after the hit. Yeah, they always take away my cool things. So, but then see, like the argument as I understand it, Beanie, correct me if I'm wrong because you're more in the know on this, is the reason why Super Bright took away Barrage of Needles, and I won't bang on about it because it's not like I'm raw about it or anything. I'm genuinely not. It changes the game up, which is good. But that's apparently the reason why Super Bright got rid of it, because everybody was using it to score, which... It would be amazing, Dan. Unfortunately... Oh, no, I shouldn't say this. Yes. Yes, Dan. What a great idea. What a great idea, Dan. Beanie, make it happen. I will keep quiet about the fact that I've spent a long time in the Scouts as a Scout leader and done a fair bit of real-life archery. The one thing I will say is I have not done much in the ways of real-life archery, or got up to a proficient level with it, until after I started playing IDU. It's not that Super Bright doesn't want us to score high. The reason why, again, as I understand it, and I'm sure Beanie will curb stomp me if I'm wrong, because I've obviously talked to Beanie about these things as well, is Super Bright want to keep it fresh. They want to keep things. They want to keep things rolling. They want to keep things moving. The thing is, the other thing you got to remember as well is this is their game. They do have a vision of what they want to do, or rather, it's kind of their game. But they've got a vision with what they want to do with it. I don't think... I think having an idea of how to be a real-life archer, as Rena is a very capable real-life horse archer, I believe, as well. How fucking cool is that? She is. Rena is definitely one of the... Rena Watts in the chat, this is definitely one of the most coolest people I know. She wears armor, she rides horses, she lances people. Yeah. Now, see, Beanie, that's where you're wrong. I showed that it's a high-scoring strategy, but you and I both know that extreme range sniping is where all the points are at. So, in my humble opinion, right, have we done everything? Because I only got to do part 1 of it, which I then changed to the entire video of shotgun, as I call Barrage of Needles at the time, versus sniper. Right. What are we? Score-wise. Right. Agony. If we can get a chant going in the chat, I would really... Oh, actually, hang on. Again, remember where I started. Where I enter the pit is where I will return to. So, what would I normally do at this stage? I would make sure, normally, when I play the game, I would go from pit to pit in Abyss. Yeah, cheers, Beanie. I bet he just went to the bloody super bright control board. Went to the super bright control board, typed in the commands. Look, as long as just don't put no quivers in the command line. Thanks, Beanie. I could do with some quivers. So what I would normally do at this stage, I normally play Abyss to Abyss, Pit to Pit. So normally, if I wasn't planning to stream all of this run, I would finish and start at Abyss Pit every time. Yeah, I bet you do, Vinny. Wait for them to come around. Have you only just come back, Renu? I was just saying about how you're one of the coolest people that I know in your armor, your lancing, and your horse archery. Because the question came up as to how important it is to be a decent archer. To do well in this one. Oh, he is. Beanie would totally do that to me. So, hey, to be fair, I'd probably ask him to do that to me. If he could affect my game during a live stream, he would, and I would ask him to, because it would be fucking hilarious. Anyway, so I would normally play Abyss to Abyss, Abyss Pit to Abyss Pit. And what I mean by that is my game would start, or I would end and save my game after finishing the pit in Abyss. I would then, when I start, play all the way through. I would start, do the pit. If it was Agony, happy days, and I would make sure I save and quit before I go into the next pit of the Abyss. However, if I loaded up my new game, got the pit and got the spare, I would now play through the entire next cycle to get all the way to the Abyss without saving and quitting, without resting in the Sanctuary, to ensure that the next pit is Agony. It does not make a massive difference on score. Yeah, well, we've got to rib you somehow, Beanie, haven't we? Mr. Poster Boy. Mr. Former Poster Boy. Just for those of you when I first started chatting with Beanie in the Discord, Poster Boy was the name that I coined for him. Stuck pretty well. And then he went and got hired by Super Bright, so worked out nice again. And now we can't call him Poster Boy because he works for the company. For a goddamn fucking percentage. Just like Wayland Yutani. That's an Aliens reference, just in case anybody doesn't get it. Right, I know the orphan is over there. Oh crap! Oh no! I was listening to the chat. Well, there you go. Lost her. Never mind. So here's something that I might try and show off. See this leaping strike? I block it. I do all of. It wasn't very. Oh no, that wasn't from him. That was an arrow. So yeah, missing orphans. That's cost me quite a lot of points just there. Probably a good 60 or 70,000, but I'll be honest with you guys, the way that I'm playing to try and show off isn't the way that I would play if this was like a super serious looking for like a top 10 finish score. It's close, but it's never going to be don't know if I dare try and do one of my top runs on that. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to try and get as far as we can with this. This is something that I was talking about as far as the shield is concerned. These leaping strikes, one of the ways that I find is a good way to deal with them, and now of course he's not going to do it, is to plunge the shield down at the same time as them hitting you. So you almost try and demonstrate. And what that does is it definitely... Where are those arrows coming from? It definitely blocks his strike. It gives you a nice big shield area, and because you have moved the shield across him, it also knocks him down and stuns him. It's getting very warm in muggy old England. I think we might be up to a massive 25 degrees. Right, let's get this finished up. Having lost my orphan. So another thing that I'm going to try and do here is construct the long range. So I'm going to jump back here. I can't get a headshot on him, but we're in virtual reality. I've had friends ask me what button it is to duck in virtual reality. Usually people who haven't played virtual reality before, which I find highly amusing. How do I duck like you? I mean, if I have to tell you that, that's probably a bad thing. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Jay play. No flies on him. Well, maybe a couple of these days as he festers in the office. But hey, he's I'd rather, there's no one else I would rather have at the helm that's doing stuff for us in the background. Don't you people forget it. Woo, 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 woo. Thing is, it's one of the things that I do find about IDU as well. It attracts the right crowd. It attracts nice people. Yeah, you are pushing pencils, mate. Damn right. Woo! So, all of this that you guys are talking about, is this recent or is this just like the old comments that have been said previously? Because, yeah, what I was going to say is, as a general rule, well, no, not even as a general rule, the vast, hugely vast majority, even those that comment on something as big as Superbright's actual page, oh, nice, normal people. Yeah. Yeah, well, as I commented, if it's the same comment that I believe it is, send into the attic with a bucket, a gold-plated bucket of fish heads. Because we're nice like that, you know. We want them to live in decadence of a golden bucket, even though it contains fish heads. Hey, thing is, best part about it is that the ones that are dangerous, that like, you know, people might actually pay attention to, are the ones that can play the game. Oh, hello. Ugh. Again, see that downward motion to block? Can't do it on that one. So this isn't a situation that I should be staying in, and that's exactly why. But I thought I would stay there just to show you what not to do. Because dodging out of the way of all of that shit is a risky prospect. Hey, let's start a lesson. Oh, shard fail. Don't rely on the shard. Oh my god, that's good. Don't rely on the shard. Don't rely on the shield. The only things that you can rely on, I think, a locomotion. Oh, there's another one there. A locomotion and teleport arrows. Anything else can be a risky proposition or has got worse. So, what we'll have a look at now, like, this is the situation that you want. I am slacking. I'm getting warm. I'm getting annoyed at just comments from the past. I'm enraged. Enraged. I'm getting very good at the poster boy of. I'm like the anti-pipe poster boy. So, right. Remind me, I need to switch that, otherwise I'm going to get to Anakim and might have to even rely on a cataclysm and forget. Let's see if we can try and score some more points out of that as well, though. Testy, testy, testy. So there's Hand of God. Now, this is another thing as well, is I don't remember where things are. If you've previously watched my streams, I don't even remember what I did 2 minutes ago. But I usually have quite a tact of like knowing what's on the level. I know there's a Hand of God there, and I know that there's a quiver near it. I've got 21 left in the slot. Is it going to make too much odds for me now to pick up that Hand of God? Well, it's 14 arrows as opposed to using 21 and then getting the full complement of 35. Although at the lower stages, you don't have to play like that, you should. You should always play the same way, regardless of the cycle. Yeah, you should always. Oh, I don't know that. Let's defang this situation very quickly. And that, and that. So there's another little example of. I should have come up here first and defanged. That is getting rid of what could ultimately be the things that are going to peg me for life, which in this circumstance is usually going to be a little bit of the powers of locomotion there. Simple sidestep. But it's another one of those. It's another one of those examples, Beanie, of do as I say. Not as I do. I play like an idiot until about cycle 6. No, so what I'm saying is... Let me just get the range on this guy a second. What I'm saying is... Right, so we always talk about, or I always talk about a lot on consistency. You can abandon... go too close to that wall, he will trigger, he will hit you through that wall. So pay special attention to that. I always say about consistency. Hang on, I'm just going to take my headset off and give it the lenses a quick clean. I always say about consistency and consistency of draw, consistency of... Much better. It's getting warm over here, folks. Jeez. Got a door open and everything. I have to get a fan. So I say about being consistent in your draw, making sure that you're always drawing to maximum. You should then be able to learn how far your arrows are going to go and make your accuracy better. I don't think I need one of the lens fans. It's very, to be fair, I was cleaning that up because I saw a mucky bit in the top right hand corner. I probably just haven't wiped it for a while. I don't think it wasn't too bad. It was just getting a bit annoying. So what I'm saying is, when you are learning the game, the way that you play cycle 1 should be the way that you play cycle 2, should be the way that you play any cycle, really, because you should be playing it slowly, methodically, luring enemies out, dealing with things one at a time, constructing long-range headshots, as I often talk about. Yeah. What Beanie said. But then what idiots like we do is we get bored. as Beanie will agree, his greatest enemy is patience. Now, I'm quite a patient guy. Even I step it up sometimes because I'm getting a bit bored and just want to liven things up a little. What I find in those sort of circumstances is that's when you either take yourself to one side and have a quick word, or play something else. Yes, they do exist, but there is nothing like getting bored and losing concentration. No, you're never wrong for playing anyway, Sean, but there is the whole argument as to what is efficient and what is not. Efficient is... I could jump up here now, I could riddle that guy with headshots, it wouldn't score me a lot of points. However, I can wave at him, because that's how you gain an incubi attention. I can then go up on this roof. I can wait for my enemy to come to the mountaintop. I think he is. Is he? Or is he still in there? I think he's still in there. Here he is. I can then teleport all the way over here. Get some nice distance on him. Get some nice distance on him. And start raining in these headshots. It's... No, 6 is... Yes. There is no specific way to play this game. However, if you want to improve your score, there is a specific way to play this game. And that way to play this game is efficiency. And I keep on calling it constructed headshots because that's the best that I can come up with, I think. Yeah, but that's because you're sad, Beanie. I just guess. And then if I'm wrong, I don't even notice. Too busy looking good. Right, Hand of God, Quiver. So, no, I don't think you do. You, at the stage that you're at... Right, okay, so... Because I may have confused the issue here by talking about it. Because we few have played this game way too much, there are times... I think the best way that I've described it previously is, for those of you who have played games like Beat Saber, for those of you who have played games like Pistol Whip, for those of you who've played these rhythm games where you can play the game to a decent level, you can get yourself into that rhythm. I know like Supernatural and some of the other fitness games are like that as well. Crazy Kung Fu I'm good at and can do it at a decent level. Is you get into that Zen state of rhythm. And that Zen state of rhythm on those games is very good for your score, is very useful. It almost feels like everything is being done for you because your arms and your hands are moving independently and you're not really thinking about what you're doing. You can reach that Zen level of play on IDU. However, in IDU, it's dangerous. I find that you start hitting your rhythm in something like IDU and it becomes dangerous. That's when I, myself, get hit, which is possibly part of the reason why I try and keep myself out of getting into that Zen stage, especially at really high cycles. Because, like, for instance, you know, you could be like, right, okay, so yeah, headshot this guy, yeah, headshot this guy, yeah, headshot this guy. I haven't checked over here, have I? And I haven't checked over there. And I'm, yeah, headshot this guy, yeah, headshot this guy. And before I know it, some knight's tiptoed up behind me, hit me, and I'm missing 4 health all of a sudden. And that's why it can be dangerous. Yes, and as it should. You, as I've said before, and I'll say again, getting into that Zen rhythm with IDU can be a blessing and a curse, depending on what you are doing. Because no game is like IDU for throwing a fucking curveball when everything's going great. And it's good. It's a good thing. This game keeps you on your toes. Right. Think we're done here. Yeah. Oh, I've done that the wrong way around. Hello, Fee. Right. Notice how I fucked up there. Could have got some extra ice arrows from that. But, yeah, if I'd have hand of godded. So this is why you should always check. Oh, I am missing an extremely large amount of health, and I think there's some health at the back here. So I think we're getting to the point where... Oh, I think we can get ourselves back up to full. Let's go back and get the bloods that we missed. Because I've been... See, look at that. Yeah, see, I'm supposed to be good. I'm missing loads of life. But then the way that I would play these cycles, especially to an audience as well. Just heard a bloody Cupid. Where was that? Look at this guy. That's a knight down there as well. Right. Better remember to get them. What could have happened with the knight is he might have fallen off at some point. And now he's teleported back. IDU is definitely a game that I would recommend warming up on. One of the few. And yeah, the reason being I recommend warming up is you're doing a lot of upper body movement, a lot of chest movement, a lot of shoulder movement. And if you're not at least a little warm doing those actions, well, I think me and pretty much everybody who plays this to any sort of level, if you push yourself, especially with the speedy stuff, if you push yourself, you can rip your arms out. I know, to my great joy, when the tournament was on, the 15 Minutes of Fame, Beanie, Gonzo, For the Right, and a lot of other players were absolutely destroying themselves trying to find out how I was getting the scores. Yes, and one of the times that you threw your shoulder out was probably because of me. trying to chase my hail of arrows. And then for Abyss, Barrage of Needles scores. Right. Are we... Yeah, I know you've got a condition out of this game. Well done, Knights. Probably a world first. Are we happy with what I've shown off with Shrapnel Blast? Because I obviously don't want to keep this. In fact, I don't care. If it comes up again, maybe I'll grab it again. I'm just going to be replacing it for something that I might use. It's better than nothing. It's better than Shrapnel Blast. So yeah, we'll take Barrage of Needles for now. Barrage of Needles. We'll take Hail of Arrows for now. It's not a great arrow with the bow. It's much better on the crossbow. But when I've been playing with Hail of Arrows for a while on the bow, it can be useful. I'll probably rattle a few shots off. So something that I want to practice now, because I've only really done it with in Fletcher, is using is using Hail of Arrows. Not Hail of Arrows, Hand of God. Using Hand of God on Anakim 1. Is that all? Right. Top tip for you guys that haven't watched my Asmo Masters in a minute. If you don't want to get hit by him, stand here. Don't think they've changed this. I hope they've changed this, Beanie. There you go. Would you like to not get hit by Asmo? Stand here. Another thing that you may or may not know as well is after throwing 1, 2, and 3 rocks, Asmo has a little breather. There's a nice little opportunity to attack. So if you were struggling with Asmo and you didn't want to, I wouldn't, unless you've got special arrows, advise killing his coils from back here, because the skulls can take some very weird routes to you. So let's wait for 3. So what I'm going to do here is, if I was struggling with this boss, this is something that I would do. I would stand here, I would wait for 1, I'd wait for 2, and then as 3 is released, I would teleport in. Because then I've got this little bit of breathing room to start hitting the boils, he says. Oh, yes, I will do that. Good shout. I won't do it here, though, because there's not a lot of damage score for it. I mean, yeah, I suppose I could now, can I? Because there's something else I want to do. So, as Beanie quite rightly points out, this is the one thing that I use the shard for. That I do either this motion or a flick. I always do it into the rock. So if it's coming from the left, I go to the left. If it's coming from the right, I go to the right. I've never been hit. But you have to time your throws on release. So release and flick. Release, then flick. If you flick before release, he'll throw it directly at you. You have to wait until it's just left his hand or in flight before flick. Or, as I like to do, one of these. Do that keep rolling thing. Oof, that was lucky. But even that is a bit risky on a small damage floor. But yeah. So, what I wanted to try, I'll wait for him to do 3. And I want to put that there. No? Yeah, that's it. Now, what Harry and probably Camilla are playing with at the moment is, you can't Hand of God I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you hit Asmo on the lava line just above it in that kind of groin area, so you are. It's all about the balls. This game, it really is. So you cup the balls with the hand of God, and it can give you some extra breathing room because now you wouldn't be able to hit him now because he has his shield up. You wouldn't be able to hit him now because he has his shield up. However, putting that hand of God down, just make sure there's none behind me. That is, yeah, we've got time to play. So what I like to do with this one is I want him to spawn over there, so I'll make sure I'm out of line of sight, and hopefully he'll spawn there, and then we're going to move back a little bit. Again, what are we doing? Constructing those long-range headshots. This one isn't great, but I'll take the opportunities once they go in. It's a few extra points. At later stages, that is risky. But yeah, we cannot, just so you note, we cannot put Hand of God on Asmo when shield is up. So if you're going to do these little Hand of God tactiques, wait until this swirling mess is not going around him. If he has that up, you cannot hit him. So for instance, you can get a lovely slow motion roar out of him, where obviously Super Bright didn't take this into account, that well, the noise that he makes is now out of sync with his actual body, but you know, they probably didn't expect me to be dicking around. You'll see I actually got a hit on the spine there as well, and this makes everything nice and slow. One of the things that I can do here is I can try and put some shots on the other one, but yeah, therein lies part of the problem with doing it at this second stage, which is easy enough and we shouldn't have to worry about doing. I'll do some more shard dodging as well as Beanie was on about. So what I want to try and do here is I want to land that groin shot before shields are up, but before he gets his shields up, but just after we've killed his dorsal flank. Or maybe we'll put it down now. No, we'll put it down now, and then it's in. Yes, you can. And you know this, Beanie, because of my Masters in a Minute series. I've already covered it. I like to go here. He knows it anyway, I'm kidding. I like to go here just because it gives me an angle that I like to have. You can then teleport into that rock, and then just that one is quite the guy spawning behind the pack, so to speak. If you don't like that. Again, constructing the headshots here. So we get a bit further back. Gotta watch out for that archer. Nailed him. Put that there. Got to watch out for these. I'm shotting him just to slow him down a little bit. There's more on the way though. So this is another thing that might be a good idea for me to cover, is the IDU glance. You'll see a lot of the higher level players do it quite often. We should be really constructing here, shouldn't we? But we also want to make sure that we finish things in good timing. What I am going to do here is put him on timeout, just to buy myself a little bit more time to construct these headshots. Yes, I'm taking some of them out. You can afford to, but not too many. I always say never take any of them out. Okay. It's only going to be worth one more. I want to take this guy out now. So do that. Headshot. Headshot. Now, one of the other things that I like to do here, I don't think I've ever talked about this. It's only worth an extra bit of gold. It is a bit risky. It is a bit stupid, but we'll do that. Kill these until the wave spawns. So all the rest of the enemies now that we can score off of are in the level. And now, because that kills them all, although we don't get the points for the kills, we do get the points, as you can see, all the gold coming up. Risky, though. And if you really wanted to get the points, you should be going through each one of those enemies, even at... Oh no, maybe not at this cycle. That's very dramatic of you, Asmo. Yeah, you do your thing. Just get out of the way, get out of the way. Cheers, mate. Can I make purgatory before Asmo gets into the lava? Find out in the next exciting episode of IDU. Oh, there's cat 3. That's better than nothing. Right. Oh, well. Okay. So, what are we looking like? No, but the gold scores, remember. Right, so we've been going a good 2.5 hours. I've got 18% battery. In time-honoured tradition, let's just do one more thing to make it a little bit risky and see if I can not lose my run. So we'll get... Asmo is even more of a drama queen when he's being cucked by God. But yes, quite right, Dan. Drama queen in corporate. Need to deal with those guys. I'd also like to stabilize as well. So another thing that I, again, haven't really mentioned, dude, chill. Another thing that I haven't really mentioned, all good, is recovery. Learning how to recover during a run is a reason that allows the likes of me and Beanie to be dickheads. We're in 6 now, Sean. And by that I mean we can afford to go fast, we can afford to not worry about losing health in the early cycles. Headset power low. We can afford to do all of that because we know we can recover. One of the top tips that I can give you for recovery is if you go into a level and you are low on life, go to the shop. Kill as little as you can, alert as little as you can, go straight to the shop. Because you can at least find out what you're dealing with. Like, for instance, you might go to the shop and it might be full of blood and armor, and then you know that you don't need to worry about the level too much. It's also worth having a scout on the level. Like, for instance, if I'd started the level off here, because I know that that is a spawn point, but I was going up there anyway. If I'd have known that I was starting off the level here, you can. I think you can get that one. No, you can't. You could get up onto, so like kill the enemies here, get up onto this rooftop and check these spawning points and see what's going on. Like, I know there's another spawning point over there. There's one on top of there as well. And look at all these bloods. So we'll have that one. Now, I think, and that's a 2. Again, no, I have 2 life. So as far as I'm concerned, I am happy to pick that one up. And I only got 1 now. At this point, I will not pick up any more bloods until I take a hit. That is you being at maximum efficiency. As far as... Yeah, I thought I heard one down there. I never fight them from here. This is really bad form. But again, constructing those long-range headshots as he then teleports next to him. Damn it. First one was a bit wild. Somebody is supposed to be able to shoot. That knight's coming all the way up and round. This one's off somewhere as well. Always, at these higher cycles, always be mindful of just how far these knights are willing to travel to come and get you. At stupid cycles, they will literally go from one end of the level to the other if there are pathways to connect to try and chase you down. You better believe it. Okay, let's close this one up and then we'll check what we got in the shop. Construct a headshot now that he's staggered. Yeah, why not? Again, depending on your level and how well you can hit those shots, I would not advise getting into a sniper fight at this cycle with an archer. Even any cycle for that matter, you should not be having archer fights with them. This is not an archer fight because he is constantly staggered. I don't need to worry about return fire because he's staggered. Don't even need to worry about these guys because they're staggered either. Hey, another blood. Do we pick it up? No. Watch this guy. He is one angry motherfucker. Nope. Now I'll have you. Lovely. So the IDU glance, I'll demonstrate this quickly because we've got a little bit of power left. All of this slow motioning. Oh, and Sean, you will get there. Give yourself a chance. You've been playing for a handful of months. You are doing very well. Everyone's doing very well. Everyone's doing annoyingly well. It's making me have to work harder. But that's why I do what I do. So the IDU glance, what is it and when should you be doing it? You should be learning it and putting it into part of your repertoire now, ready for later levels. It is best employed, or I think people who play Paradise Lost and don't hate it. Oh, you had a bit of a time there, didn't you? It is probably best employed on Paradise Lost. The IDU glance, I'm just going to body shot this guy to show you what I'm talking about. Hit, hold your slow time. You're looking around just to make sure nothing's advanced on you or moved on you. Hit. Holding slow time, looking around, making sure nothing's advanced on you. Hit, holding slow time, looking around. And you do that as much as you feel you need to. Not doing that as part of your would be classed as SOPs. Not doing that as part of your the SOPs are standard operating procedures, things that you do automatically. I forget to do that when I enter the Zen state that I was talking about earlier. If you are constantly head on a swivel and using slow time, then technically nothing should be able to gang up on you, hit you, or take you by surprise. When you get into that Zen state and you're just headshot, slow, it can be very easy to forget. This isn't very risky, really, is it? Not in comparison to how I usually end the streams. This is actually quite, okay, maybe 7%. Could I do a level on 7%? Right. Yeah, we've been playing for almost a year. We've been playing for almost 2 years, mate. You're doing well. So, might not have. Go on, Sean. Type out what you want me to repeat, and I will. Holy armor. Now, I think, especially at this level, most people will go, holy armor, gimme. Now, I wouldn't, and the reason being, we have a Blood of the Lamb in the shop, we have a Blood of the Lamb back in the level. I would not pick up that holy armor until I am ready to fight Anakin. Unless I have problems with the pit. I might, if I didn't have a massive amount of Blood of the Lambs across the level and in the shop, I might take that holy armor into a pit with me. But if I have done the pit and still have a holy armor left out, I would not pick that up until I go in to fight Anakin. No, I won't do it. So yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, I thought that's what. So, right, I'll close this up in just a second then, because I want to make sure I don't lose my. Wouldn't it be embarrassing to lose my run because I was chatting? So I'm gonna have to be quick. So yeah, hopefully you've picked that up on Holy Armor. Holy Armor should be a last. You should be taking Holy Armor at the end of a level into a boss fight, with the hope of keeping hold of it and going on. The head on the swivel thing is all that slow time that you're doing when you are staggering just the one enemy. If you've got an enemy and you are headshotting him, okay, I'm not grabbing the crossbow. If you've got an enemy and you are headshot slow mo, and those headshots are hitting, and you are getting into that rhythm, and you've got to do a lot of those headshots because you're at a very far cycle, you look around between those headshots. So you would go headshot, slow, headshot, 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 have a look around, headshot, 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 look around. And that's the rhythm that you want to try and get into, because that way nothing should be able to sneak up on you. But right, thank you all very much for joining me tonight. It has been fantastic once again. Hopefully this is continuing to entertain. I am making a point of not playing this run so that you guys can see, well, I don't know, or everyone's always complaining about not seeing my gameplay, so hopefully you're happy with it. But we will continue this run, and I won't push this on any further until next Wednesday. Nice one. Thank you, TT. Thank you, Beanie. Thank you, everyone who's in attendance. I am at 2% battery. Good night.